little disappointed in last night's game. I was expecting a better game, but boy, Green Bay is going to be a freaking problem.
Welcome in, everybody, to a Football Friday edition of Birds 365 here on JAKIB Sports. I'm your host, Zander Krause. That's my co-host, Johnny Mac, John McMullen, as we are now a couple days out from that Week 2 matchup between the Eagles and the Chiefs, this much-anticipated Super Bowl rematch. Johnny Mac, how you doing on this Football Friday, brother?
Doing well. A little disappointed in last night's game. I was expecting a better game, but boy, man, Green Bay is going to be a freaking problem.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that game a little bit, John. Before we get into, obviously, Eagles-Chiefs, we got a great show planned. It's our last show before that Eagles and Chiefs game, before the pregame show. We're going to talk to Les Bowen today, as we missed him yesterday, but we'll talk to him in hour number 2. What'd you make of that game? So I had 2 takeaways. All right, John. And somebody tweeted it to me this morning, but it's exactly what I was thinking. Commanders, war of attrition is going to be a problem. And Packers, that defense is damn freaking good. Now, let's see how they continue to shake out. But what were some of your takeaways from that game last night, Johnny Mac?
Yeah, well, first it goes to Jerry Jones. I'm like, are you kidding me? It's and the fans in Green Bay were tweaking him. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Jerry. He's finally going to win a goddamn Super Bowl because they're, it's a long way. They and attrition's a big part of it to the point of Washington. And they lost Jaden Reed for 6 to 8 weeks. It's going to be. So, everybody's got injuries and you saw it last year with Detroit. But, man, they played 2 of the best teams in the NFC, quotations, to open it up. And it's September and everybody's trying to feel their way and all that's baked into it. But they outclassed them in a league that's built on parity. That's concerning. That is concerning if you're another team in the NFC, which the Eagles are. They aren't just beating these teams. They are dominating these teams. And Micah is a big part of it, but, that's the final piece to the puzzle.
He was, John, he was.
Oh, he's unbelievable. I hope people watch that game. He's unbelievable. So
they couldn't deal with him. They could. That rookie tackle is he had a long night.
Poor Josh Connerly, who's a good player. The Eagles loved him coming out. And I think he'll be fine long term. But again, rookies need time to grow. He is a problem, and I've been saying it for years. And because he wore a star on his helmet, people fail to recognize it in this town. He's one of the very few people that you can't block. You just can't block him.
Yeah.
And you gotta pay so much attention to him. So it's already clear you have to beat Green Bay a certain way. I can tell you that already. You got to get the lead immediately. And you got to shorten the game, and you got to make sure everything's on the table, run, pass game, because if they get a chance to tee off, like they're up 14-0 yesterday, if they get a chance to tee off and you become one-dimensional, you're cooked. That is just a good football team. And that was my fear whenever, get them out of the division. Get them the hell out of the conference.
Yeah.
And I said, obviously, the Cowboys weren't able to win. You trade to a bad organization, to a rebuilding organization. Yeah, you could have got away with that. But to put him on that team at this particular time, and then all the spooky nature of they put it on the broadcast. Bart Starr won a Super Bowl when he was 27. Brett Favre won a Super Bowl when he was 27. Aaron Rodgers won a Super Bowl when he's 27. Jordan Love is turning 27 this year. That's the spooky stuff.
That is the numerology element, John. That's interesting.
Then the second part is Darian Kinnard's on that freaking team. Darian Kinnard won a Super Bowl in Kansas City. Darian Kinnard won a Super Bowl in Philadelphia. Yeah, some spooky shit as well.
Yeah, there you go.
Long way to go. But the only thing beating that team is attrition.
Not what I expected to hear from Johnny Mac this morning, that there was some numerology and that Darian Kinnard, it could be the lucky.
That's tongue in cheek. Yeah. I'm joking with that.
In all seriousness, though, that Packers team is really good. John, I don't know. I don't want to toot my horn, but I was not sold this summer on the Commanders being ready to compete. Now, I'm not saying they're a bad football team. It's very early in the year. I think they have they have a good opportunity to be really good, but That did not look like rookie Jaden Daniels to me last night. Now, their offensive line was in hell because of that Green Bay Packers defensive front, but Jaden Daniels looked way off his game last night. And I do think the age on that team, John, is going to be a problem. I mean, they lost Dietrich Wise last night. Who else did they? They lost 3 or 4 guys in that game.
Austin Eckler done for
Austin Eckler, I think, is going to be out. Noah Brown was out, and John Bates. Yeah.
Well, those guys are younger, so yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. I've seen that a lot. They got 2 older guys carted off. And certainly Eckler's done for the season. That was an Achilles. And that's a non-contact injury. Look, attrition's a big part of it. Somebody put 2 guys on injured reserve, 2 young guys after week 1. I forget. I have to look it up, but I mean, that's just football. And the Achilles stuff. I mean, if you want to look at anything there besides age, it's like, is the ramp up period good enough for these players? Because you constantly see the soft tissue, the hamstrings, the less harmful injuries, but Achilles being, really serious. That to me is a more relevant discussion. With Washington, it's, you better hope Green Bay's that good, because they played like crap. But I think Green Bay's that good. So I'm not ready to say Washington isn't a potential playoff team. Same thing with Detroit. I think Detroit's going to be just fine this week.
I think Washington's still a playoff team. I just don't know if they're ready to take the size jump that some people were expecting.
Well, I've said it pretty consistently.
You feel good about them winning the East still?
Well, yeah, that from the standpoint of just playing the numbers game and the percentage in 2 decades and that kind of thing. And plus the Eagles have the difficult schedule and all that stuff. I've said pretty consistently, I think the Eagles are a better team. I think that's a situation where the 3 games on the schedule that they have to play versus the 3 games, I think that's the difference. Ultimately, the real difference will be those 2 games late in the season, at least the first one. The second one might be, the first game might be for all the marbles, but more about that. I've always thought the Eagles are a better team. I just think that's the way the NFL works. It's not a balanced schedule. That's the reason you have these things. But I've said it pretty consistently with Washington last year. Like, they didn't belong in the NFC Championship game. I said it leading up to, they don't belong in that game. And it got proven. The Eagles boat raced them. They didn't belong. They got in that game because of just a incredible tornado of injuries on the deep. That's the only reason they're in that game. So, very similar. Les, if you want to talk about the one good year the Giants had, convinced themselves that, hey, we're heading in the right direction because they won a playoff game against a really bad defense. And then they came into Philadelphia, and it wasn't, divisional round.
Yep.
And they got boat raced, but they said, hey, we're close. No, you weren't close. So it depends on the people that thought Washington was a legitimate Super Bowl. Yeah, I think they're skipping steps. I still think they're a good team. If Green Bay isn't as good as they, I'm going to get a lot of, I'm a Green Bay fan. Look, they're just fucking good.
No, there's no doubt. I mean, I don't know why. I don't think fans should have a hard time saying that. That's going to be that's going to be the Eagles' biggest challenger in the NFC.
Oh, no question.
Yeah.
No question. Again, injuries, same thing with Detroit last year, can derail everything. But barring injuries,
I still, well, I don't know. I guess it's going to sound Eagle color glasses because I'm the Eagle fan, but I do feel like the Eagles are still built to beat that team. I mean, they got the offensive line to mitigate that Green Bay pass rush, and the Eagles have such a good running game that I think that's a great equalizer in a game like that as well. Now, obviously, the ball bounces many different ways. A lot of different things happen. The war of attrition. We all know how much context goes into football, but that's going to be a great matchup, John. The Eagles and the Packers in the NFC all year long.
Yeah, I mean, that's the team you got to keep your eye on. And obviously they're going to play each other. And that'll be a good good temperature where everybody's out. But I think the way it's shaping up, you have to play a specific way to beat Green Bay, and the Eagles are capable of it. And that's get the lead, shorten the game, and make sure you remain the entire game. Like the last thing you want is to be down 2 scores. And I don't care if it's first quarter, obviously fourth quarter. I don't care if it's the first quarter. I don't care if it's 10-0. You don't want to be down 2 scores against that team.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'd rather have Lane Johnson dealing with
because then they can just pin their ears back and just come for the quarterback all day long.
Exactly. And that's what happened yesterday.
Yep.
And already you see Jeff Hapley, who I kind of, when they hired him, I was on record saying, yeah, I was like, really? You're going to hire
I remember
Jeff
because his first game was versus the Eagles in Brazil.
Yeah, and I was like, which by the way wasn't great from a defensive perspective for them, even with all the turnover worthy plays. But yeah, I didn't like that hire, but he's like already like he's moving Micah inside. Like people are saying, well, you got Lane Johnson. Yeah, they're just going to move him. They're just going to move him over freaking Tyler Steen.
Yeah, right.
That's what they're going to do.
And they moved him inside quite a bit last night.
And remember, they're not playing him all. They're ramping him up.
Yeah.
He's not playing what he's going to play, which is the vast majority of snaps. Which the Cowboys did a little bit, but they didn't take advantage of it.
What'd you think of the Green Bay offense? Like, and again, I think they're good, but boy, they really look to pass that ball downfield, and it's good. But I do wonder to some extent, though, you got to be a little bit more of a balanced attack. Now, Jordan Love hit my favorite throw of the night was actually the injury that Jaden Reed got, where I think he broke his collarbone. But that was such a good throw by Jordan Love, that deep ball. What'd you think of the Green Bay offense?
How good was Tucker Kraft in that game?
Oh man.
My God.
I love the way he plays, John. I love the way he plays.
They had that big pass down, that great catch from Heath. Yeah, they throw the ball. They're a hell of a lot more fun to watch because they throw the ball down the field. But to your point, that's not always the best thing to do. Now, Josh Jacobs is very good. He's not Saquon Barkley, but nobody is. But he's very good.
Like a runner for sure.
Yeah. It's not like they don't have a running game. He had 1,300 yards last year. So they're very well rounded. I get, there are moments where Love still doesn't make the right decision, gets a little bit inaccurate, throws the, again, is always looking for the big play. So they got to tighten some stuff up if they want to win the Super Bowl. But there are very few people with the arm talent of Jordan Love. Like, and we'll see how it works, but like, there's no reason that he can't be a superstar quarterback. None. If you develop him correctly. Now, another thing I want to bring up, I don't know if you saw Tom Brady on Colin Cowherd, but Brady just drops knowledge occasionally on the quarter, and
I didn't see it yesterday. I saw the clip, but I never clicked on it.
Oh my God, you got to listen to it. Yeah, because Colin's making this stupid. You got to make a decision on a quarterback by Thanksgiving of year 2. And Tom went off on a tangent. It's like,
oh man, I got to listen.
Yeah. Now, Tom was talking about, again, the development of quarterbacks. And he destroyed a lot of people. And then Kurt Warner chimed in, which I think is interesting because Kurt Warner's a Hall of Fame quarterback. And Tom was talking about his development and how the Patriots developed him. And one of the things was, and maybe this is just the silver lining of a terrible situation. I think it was year 2. He was talking about their quarterbacks coach had a heart attack and passed away. So that's obviously a heartbreaking situation.
Right.
At the time, so Belichick took over and not took over the position, but he went into the quarterback room every single week. And Tom said, he taught me, maybe the best defensive coach of all time. He taught me this, Tom, I'm paraphrasing.
Right.
how to read coverages, what to do with coverages. All right, this is cover one. This is the strength. This is what you don't want to do. This is what you want to do. This is the weakness. Cover two, quarters, everything. Nobody does that.
I don't get why. But why
Yeah,
don't
exactly. Nobody. And Kurt Warner chimed in again. Hall of Fame career, played long time. Not once in his career did anybody do that for him. So it's not like you can't be successful, but nobody does that. So people throw in, and I go back to the O'Connell quote all the time: organizations fail young quarterbacks more than young quarterbacks fail organizations. That's what he said. And I agree with that wholeheartedly. But, so he's got to develop more. That's a long way of saying he's got to develop more, and he's got to get. But you've seen it here with Jalen Hurts. Guess what? Sometimes they do. And there's nothing to stop him from being one of the best 5 or 6 quarterbacks in the NFL, but he's not there yet. So it's fair to say that. I'm just that team looks different to me, because all NFL teams are, I say it all the time. You're talking about the difference is the top 5, 10 players on the roster, each side. That's what makes the Eagles the Eagles. They look different. They look like Detroit looked before the injuries last year. Detroit didn't win. So it's not over. It's week 2.
People take that and they act like you're saying they're going to win the season.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, guys, it's football. We all know a lot of things can happen. John's just pointing out they're a good football team. They are a good football team. We all like good football, don't we? I mean, I thought they were great.
They were fun to watch. I know what I'm going to get. Believe me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm already seeing it in the chat.
For people that actually listen, they know what I'm talking about. Those are the people I'm talking to. Like, I don't care who wins. I know. Here's what people, because I know this too. Like, because they're so passionate about one particular team, they just can't register that someone could be non-passionate and say, all right, this team's good, this team's not, this team's this and this team's that. Like, it doesn't matter to me if the Green Bay Packers win. It doesn't matter to me if I'm wrong and they all of a sudden lose 15 straight games. I don't think that's going to happen.
No, that's not.
I thought it was a bad. I said it the day we did the Parsons trade. I said, I don't like this for the Philadelphia Eagles from the standpoint of, oh yeah, he's out of the division, but this makes Green Bay, the biggest hurdle, and it has. It's already evident, and it's only going to get better because he's not even up to full speed. And then to the point I've been saying for years, how much the Eagles talk about Micah Parsons behind the scenes, how much they love the player. And, all of a sudden the news comes out that how he's trying to give up 2 first-round picks, a player, a third, a fifth.
Yeah.
So, if you're paying attention, all of this shit is coming to fruition. And it's all Jerry Jones's fault. Like, you can't, as the Dallas Cowboys, you can't trade that guy to the Green Bay Packers. You can't trade him to the Philadelphia Eagles either, if you're Jerry Jones, if you're being fair. But you can't trade him to the Green Bay.
Well, I thought the best piece of context that you gave on that was, I forget who you used as, the 2 dynasties who were knocked off. I think you used the Cowboys in the 90s.
Yeah, and maybe Cowboys, Niners, yeah.
Yeah, 49ers, yep. They were knocked off by a conference opponent, not a divisional opponent. So you got to be careful. I mean, look, that Packers team is good. I will say, I don't think that Commanders team is going to be as good this year as people thought. We'll see what ends up happening with them. I thought Jaden Daniels was seeing ghosts. Now, part of that is because that Packers D-line was coming all night.
No, seeing ghosts means you're seeing pressure that's not there. He was seeing the pressure that was there.
That's true.
There's a big difference.
The ghost element was he was seeing it right away. Maybe he had another second.
It was there right away. Yeah. It was there right away.
All right, good stuff.
Poor Josh Connerly was just brutalized.
Yeah,
and hopefully he can.
Pencil didn't look too great either, to be honest with you. But good game last night. Great game last night. We got to see two teams that could be a potential contender for the Eagles in the NFC. We will continue to see how the season unfolds.